Hello, welcome back to my channel and to day 13 of our Christmas Advent box. And I thought today is Saturday, so I thought that would be what I would normally be doing my scrap stash and mayhem day. So I decided to, well, why not carry on the tradition and use some scraps and some of my stash. So what I found was in my stash of things, I had at one point gone through Christmas cards and I cut out pieces of these cards that, you know, were pretty and I thought could be used for something. And I do have a die cut. You can see that I used the die cutting machine. But I thought, well, let's use this. So I thought with this one here, just easy peasy. Oh, my glue. Where did my glue go? Where did my glue go? I should have got that out, shouldn't I? Oh, I know where it is. It's on the table because my girlfriend and I, we were learning, teaching ourselves how to do quilling. And my glue is sitting on the table with those supplies all around the place. So anyways, this is just a piece of paper from my stash. I think it comes from a package that was actually, I bought at Dollarama years ago. So nice to get it used. And I thought, well, it kind of goes with Santa. And I'm just going to put that right about in the center, like so. And then I'm just going to take this and get rid of that, whatever that was. There we go. Nice amount of glue. Oh, what a happy face that is, eh? Almost reminds me of the Coca-Cola Santa. All right, and then I thought this could just go right on top. I'm going to put this here though, because I think that just kind of blends in there and kind of makes it, I don't know, more together. Look, blah, blah, blah. Look a little more put together. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. These sure are coming together nicely and easily. I didn't put a lot of thought into this one at all. This is not from a card. This is from a Stamperia scrap that I had laying around. Obviously, I was going to use it for something and never did. I haven't bought Stamperia for years. So it is nice to keep using up stash, things that have been hanging around for a long time. There we go. Day 13. Alrighty. I like that. It doesn't have to be fancy, just something simple as that. Now this one we're going to have a little more fun with. So I'm going to put my glue on here, my lid. And what I did here, I'm going to grab a pencil. I had this little snowman. Of course, same thing, came from a card, I cut it out. And what I thought, when I looked at that, I thought, why don't we make a little snow globe out of it? Never done this before. It may work, it may not, but let's give it a go. So I have this piece of paper again from that same pad, a Dollarama thing, and I cut it to fit here. So let's make a snow globe. I don't know. This may work, it may not. In my head, it works, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to look here because I want it to be, it's kind of got to be like that, I think. So let's just mark where this is going to be. And then I am going to grab my ruler and I'm just going to, I want this to come down, I'm thinking, just right about here. And we're just going to do the same thing right about there. See how that looks. Is that about even? Not really. This whole thing should be over, but that's okay. And then I'm thinking right about how far down do we want this to go? Okay, so if I do right about here, I'm just going to do a line straight across here. That's what I'm going to do. Just straight across here. Just like so. I'll just go like that and like that. Let's see, cut this out and see what that looks like. We may put another notch in there. We'll see. I know it's not perfect, but I'm okay with that. And then how deep do we want this? I want this to be about like so. And I think I'm going to cut that right about there. Let's cut it off. That's the one thing about having paper that has a pattern on it. You can just kind of pick a row and go with it. Gives you a little more of a chance to cut a straight line. And then she doesn't do it. Well, it wasn't that funny. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we could take and just do, what could we do? We could make this one and just cut out maybe a little bit more. Why not? So we're going to turn it over. I want to cut here to here. So let's go here, here to here. Let's do this. Is that going to look right? Hopefully. Okay, so we're going to do that to that. And we're going to do, let's do it this way. This to this. Okay. That should about do it. Sure. I'm just going to do it right to there. And then we're going to do this right about here. Okay, let's try that. Let's see what that does. Okay, so we're just going to take this piece out, this tiny little piece. Like so. All right. So, see that. How does that look? Oh, that looks okay. Yeah. All right, we're going to leave it at that. Don't want to go too fancy because, you know, booger things up and then I got to start over again. Okay, so I am going to make sure, where do I want this? I want this down a little further. Okay, so we're going to go right about like, this is where we're going to bring this here. And you know what, let's glue this in. We have our little circle line here, right? We drew it in. Let's just glue this all in. And then it'll be a little easier to judge where we want it to be. Okay. And I'm just going to take and put that right like so. And that should be just the perfect. Love that. Okay, and then just because I have this, cut that from a card. So let's just stick this in here. And we'll just put that right about in the middle. That looks good to me. I'm not inking or anything. I'm just putting this in as is. A little bit there. There we go. There we go. And I think we're just going to put it right about there. So there we did it. We made a snow globe using some scraps and a circle from a card. And remembering that these envelopes that we're decorating, this is all made with the bubble wrap envelopes packing from Amazon or wherever. So this is pretty much a lot of recycled stuff, bringing trash to treasure. Okay, and we're just going to move that right about there. And I think that looks good right there. Okay, get that back on. We got everything glued. Yeah, we did. Look at that. Wow, there we go. And then we're just going to stick. I like that. I think that looks good. All right, let's make our hole in the middle-ish somewhere. And I'm going to say right about there. And that. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. Okay. Get rid of this, out of our way. And our string. Twice around. Oh, we need more string. Misjudged that one. Let's do that. Let's see what that is now. There we go. And tomorrow for the 14th, I'm going to play again with some things from my stash. And some really old stuff from my stash. Feels good to get it cleaned up. Alrighty. And 1 and 2, and tie a knot. There we go. I could have made that a little longer, but oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. There we go. And stick that in, and there we go. Day 13 done. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you again tomorrow.